Hey everyone, happy Friday. All right, so I just wanted to hop on because I was on my Snapchat and these words just started coming out and I'm like, all right, let's get over on Facebook and let you guys in on something that kind of hit me today. So, I mean, the New Year's is coming up and we know that people start setting these goals. They start setting New Year's resolutions. And honestly, I feel like it's something that people should start doing now. That's just my personal opinion. I don't feel like we should wait for a Monday, that we should wait for a new day, that we should wait for a new year in order to start, setting goals and making them and everything. But in all reality, a lot of people start to do that stuff for the New Year's, right? They wait until after the holidays and they set these goals up. But in reality, let me talk to you about most people have these dreams and goals that are set on their heart. And if you think about it, it's like, how many people sit there and dream about, oh, if only life was like this, or if life was like that, or, oh, yeah, if I could have my house like that, that would just be amazing. But it's not going to happen. But they dream about it. And I think it's important for us to have these big dreams. I want people to dream big. I want people to accomplish big things. But we need to take a step and be like, okay, well, how are we going to get there, right? Like, how are we going to get there? We have to take steps in order to get there and set little goals or set little actions that can take us to that big dream or big goal. And so when I was reading this morning, something hit exactly on this point, and I'm like, oh, that's so good. So I was sitting there reading, and TD Jakes brought the story up about Moses. Hey, Brad, thanks for hopping on. Brought up Moses, and Moses had this great thing that was placed on his heart that he needed to accomplish, and he started giving all these excuses, right? Like, he's sitting here giving these excuses and everything, and he's like, well, what do I do? Or like, how is this going to happen? And pretty much God's like, stop waiting and start walking. Like, what do you have in your hand? A staff. Okay, we'll throw it on the ground. Here comes a snake. Like, God wants us to start walking, pretty much. Start walking towards our dreams and goals. Quit waiting. He's equipped us with the things that we need and with what we have, with where we're at, in order to accomplish the goals and dreams that he places on our hearts. And if you think about that, because even for me, there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had like 5 more hands to delegate different things in my life. But then I know ultimately right now, like, I can only delegate certain tasks at this point because I also have to be intentional with my income and with what's coming in. But so I mean, just think about that for a second. You need to use where you are now and what you have in order to accomplish the goals and dreams in your heart. Because if you think about it though, your hesitation is only going to be your limitation. So your hesitation is only going to set your limitation. So if you sit there and hesitate and give yourself excuses after excuses, like, well, I can't work out at my house because I've got neighbors, or I can't work out at the gym because I'm afraid to go to the gym because of people, or I don't have enough time to work out, or I don't have the money to work out. Well, first of all, anybody can go walking. That's not rocket scientist. You can go walking, and if you're getting in some sort of exercise, if you haven't, ultimately it's going to help. Is it nice to have a strategic plan? Absolutely. It's great to have something that hey, if I do this from here to here, it's going to work, right? But where are you at right now, and what do you have? And that's what you need to use in order to accomplish these big dreams or big goals that you have, and just set these little goals. So maybe you're like, you know what, I don't have the finances. And when people do say that they don't have the finances though, make sure that you're really saying that and you know that you don't, because there's many times that people are like, oh, I don't have the money for that. But yet you're smoking cigarettes, going out to eat 24/7, buying a new Coach purse, things like that, I'm like, nope, it's just not in the value. But there are people that can't afford certain things right now, and that's fine. And so where can you start right now? What can you do? I don't have weights. Okay, do you have cans at your house? Do you have kids at your house? There's always things that you can do to start where you are and with what you have. And so it was just so good to hear the whole Moses situation and everything. And then next is that, so we've got these big dreams, right? We've got these big dreams or these big goals and everything, and we're going to accomplish these things. What ends up happening is that sometimes people stop and quit because they don't have the patience to go through it, right? How many have patience? That word, patience. Not a lot of people like it, right? Understand that anything worth having is going to take time. And there's bound to be struggles during the process and during the journey and whatever you're doing. Because if you've got a dream and a goal to pay off debt, you've got a dream and a goal to lose 100 pounds, you've got a dream and a goal to build a business, you've got a dream and a goal to, build up your children to know the Lord, like whatever it is, it's going to be this process and something that you're probably not doing. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a goal. You wouldn't need to accomplish it. And so it does. It takes time. It takes consistency. And a lot of people, just the society that we're in, we want quick, we want fast, we want easy, we want microwavable life stuff to just come up, and it doesn't happen like that. It takes time. Like everyone dreams, oh, if I could just get one of those pills and then I could lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Great. But really, what's in it? Or, oh, if I could only win the lottery, then I could have my log cabin home that's next to a lake and out in the woods. Well, why can't you have that now? Like, why do we set ourselves up? Why do we set limits on the things that we can do in our life? Because I read that setting up, or let me see here. It says, I encourage you to cast big dreams that will stretch your imagination and require you to rely on divine inspiration to sustain you. And I know I've heard that in a different way where it said dream so big that God has to make it, has to intervene in everything. Because, what is it worth to you? And then another thing too, let me see here. I do a lot of note taking and a lot of personal stuff, and I've got mentors and stuff, but why not you? So my mentor right now asked me questions, just questions that opened up to the goals and dreams of my life. Like if he could remove all the barriers in my life, what would it look like? Like what would I want and everything? And it makes you start to think if I could be doing this and that, and it was just great. And then it was like, well, what are a few things that that I've always wanted to do? And then it came down to, he's like, well, why not you? Why not you? When you have these dreams and these goals and everything, why not you? If someone else is going to make that money, or if someone else is going to buy that house, or if someone else is going to have a dream vacation, or if someone else is going to pay off their debt, or if someone else is going to do something, why not you and your family? And I was like, that sounds so simple, but people won't happen that. Why not us, right? And maybe people don't have those big dreams or those big goals, and that's okay. But those that do, why do we stop? Like our family and us and our lives are supposed to be blessed. And anyways, I'm not going to get into that because that's going to go into a whole nother aspect. But pretty much start where you are now, quit hesitating, and start walking. So that's the whole thing behind what, between God and Moses. He's like, quit hesitating, start walking. You have the things that I equipped you with, and use what you have. And then you know what? Like I said, step by step, it's going to take time and there's going to be struggle, but step by step, there may be other things that come into your life that you can utilize and use and stuff. So for instance, you're building a business and you're like, I wish I had 5 hands to help me do this stuff. Or, I wish I had a website. You can find free things that you can do to set up a website and start to blog or whatever. You don't have to purchase ads or this or that. Like, start where you are and with what you have and put in that time and put in the work, because you see the value and worth in what you want to accomplish. So I just wanted to give you guys that there, just because I know, like I said, I know January is coming up, and that's when a lot of people have those plans and those goals and those dreams. And I don't want what the norm happens is within 2 weeks of people setting these goals, they start to lose away from them and they start to quit, because it takes patience, it takes time, it takes commitment, and it takes hard work. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be about just losing weight. Any goal that you set, it's going to take that. So quit hesitating, because, like I said, your hesitation will only become your limitation. Don't put those limitations on yourself. So go out, start with what you have, and start with what you have in your hand, and take those steps in order to get to where you want to go. So we'll see you guys. Have a wonderful Friday.